Hello and welcome to the 7th episode, the 7th day in my introductory series to the Feldenkrais Method of Somatic Education. The channel name is Feldenkrais with Alfons and I am Alfons. Today is, as always, a very exciting, very special lesson. As always, you will need some floor space, some undisturbed half hour, and let's get started. Let's get this lesson rolling. Whew. So I'm through with the introduction, I'm through with the difficult part of this lesson, and now let's go to the fun part where I have a lot of experience in teaching how to go through a Feldenkrais lesson, how to experience this stuff actually. So if you're not already on your back, please come to lie on your back on the floor. On the carpet, thank you. Alright, and then please come to lie onto your front side, on your belly, stomach, chest. Roll over to come onto your front side. And let's do or not do a reference movement first. So your legs are straight. Please place both of your hands on top of each other, preferably your left hand on top of your right hand and your right ear on top of your left hand, so your face is turned to the left. You don't have to do this. I advise you not to do it. But if you want, you can try just to check how difficult or how easy that following movement is to you. Just for the sake of completeness, I present this movement to you. So you're in this situation, in this position, and then lift your left elbow and hand together with your head. So your whole left arm lifted up together with your head, and just see how difficult or how easy or how do you do this movement, and then come back down again to lie on your front side. So if you did this movement, you now know how difficult it is. And if you didn't do this movement, you're a genius. I congratulate you. You know how to make your life easy. Now, let's start with this lesson. We will start very slow. This is tricky. This whole trauma thing is very tricky. We need to approach it a little bit, stalk it, come from the side and catch it. Make it very slow. So you're on your front side. Make sure you're comfortable. You can pull up your left knee a little bit if you like. You can hook your left foot over your right foot if you like. Just be comfortably on your front side. I need to put the microphone in a place where you can still hear me, but where I can still make the movements myself. You're on your front side. Just feel how you're breathing. You can close your eyes if you want. I will try to speak precisely. I can't see what you're doing. That's the big disadvantage of YouTube. So I can't react to what you do. I can't see in which state you're in. I can't see what you feel, how you sense. But anyways, you're on your front side. try to have your hands close to your face. Like your left hand next to your left ear, close to your left shoulder, and your right hand as well. Left hand on the floor, your head on the floor or on the carpet or on a blanket. And then slowly, so this is slow, start to move your left hand a little bit. But move it where? Move it away from you in the direction of your head, upwards in your direction. So not into the room, but your hand stays on the floor and you slide your hand on the floor away from you in the direction of your head, upwards. Just a little bit. Slide your hand away from you as if you would like to raise your hand if you would be standing, but you're lying. Your hand is on the floor. Leave your hand on the floor. Leave your fingers comfortably. Your fingers should be resting. Your hand shouldn't be pressed flat against the floor, but your hand should be rather comfortably lying on the floor, and you just push your hand a little bit away and then pull your hand, drag your hand back towards your face again. And do this movement a couple of times. Start to be busy with this movement. But don't let this movement interfere your breathing. Just continue to breathe normally. Just continue to breathe totally normally. Focus on your breathing a little bit, and at the same time focus on your hand, how you push your hand away, and then how you drag your hand closer towards your face. And you will notice you will have to work your elbow. You will have to work your shoulder joint, which is a ball joint. There's something happening there. So your arm is extending the further you push your hand away from you, and then your arm is folding up again. You're massaging the floor with your arm. Try to find a path where you can move your hand above your head. So not to the side, but up. So straight up on the floor, sliding on the floor. Until you have, I hope your arm is all right, so you can extend your arm fully. Try that until you can extend the arm fully and then pull it backwards. You can take short breaks in between. That's okay, totally okay. Just little rests in between, and then start this movement again where you extend your arm. And once the arm is extended, try to lift your elbow a little bit. You can have your hand on the floor, lift the elbow a little bit, and then bring the arm back again. It's very similar to what we did with the leg in the 6th lesson, in the last lesson. So you extend your hand, your arm, you lift your elbow, you lift your shoulder a little bit, and then bring it back. Bring it back next to your head. Take a short rest next to your head. But we don't want to fall asleep, we want to keep moving. We are not immobile, we keep moving. And then, once your arm is extended, try to lift off your hand a little bit from the floor, and then bring it back down. So with the extended arm, lift your your hand off the floor, and then back again. And then back to your head. Then turn your head to the other side, which means the face to the right side. And try the same thing with your right hand. So you start to extend your right hand. The right hand cannot be extended. You start to slide the right hand on the floor, away from your head, up, and you slide your elbow, and then you pull or drag the hand back, you drag the elbow back. There's a flexion and extension of the elbow. There's a movement in your shoulder joint. Try this movement with your right arm a couple of times. And at some point you can lift your right elbow, and maybe you can lift off your right hand also a little bit, as if it would be like an airplane trying to start and then come back down again. And then take a short rest. You can rest on your belly, or you can roll over onto your back, just as you like. I prefer to be a little bit lazy and stay on my back, front side. Now, again, please put your left hand on top of your right hand and your right ear on top of your left hand. All right, so the hands are stacked on top of each other. Your cheek, your right ear is on top of the back of your left hand. And now we actually have to start to do this lifting movement, but slowly. Very easy. Let's break it up a little bit. First, just move your left elbow. Just lift your left elbow a little bit and bring down your left elbow. And see how you do that, how that can be done most easily. Without affecting your breathing, just lift the left elbow a little bit, and maybe there's a movement in your left shoulder blade. Maybe you can feel your left shoulder blade moving in your back. And then rest the left arm again. And now just try to lift your head a little bit. Just the head. Just lift the head a little bit so that there's a space in between your right cheek and your left hand. And then bring down your head again to rest on your left hand. Make this a slow, a comfortable movement. Just lift your head a little bit. Just feel how you do that, how much movement there is in your neck, and bring it down again. Now lift your left hand and your head together. This is a little bit more difficult. A couple of times. And then try to lift your head and your hand and your elbow all together. Or lift it up and bring it down again. And now there's a trick to it. If you try to do this with power and be very stiff, it doesn't work. So we have to be flexible, we have to move. All right? Maybe this is the trauma, the thing that doesn't move in the back, and we will move the thing in the back, and we know how to do it. I will explain it to you. When you lift your head, I explain. Maybe you have a lot of experience in moving. Maybe I can't explain anything to you, but I will suggest you a movement. So when you lift your left elbow, don't lift the elbow straight up. But remember the movement we did just a moment before, when you were sliding your hand across away from your hand. So in the same manner, slide your elbow a little bit up on the floor and then lift the head in like a turning movement. There's a little rotation, a little turn. See, just let this happen. Let this movement happen. This little turning, maybe it's a little bit of a side bending. It's more than just lifting. The whole upper body starts to twist a little bit and lift a little bit to the back side of your head. And then you set your head down again. So it's like a scissor movement. A movement where your left hand slides over your right hand, where the left elbow slides over the floor before it lifts off. Can you feel? Can you feel how that makes it easier? And how your back is affected, how you can lift your head actually like that and then bring it down again. It's like a curve. You're throwing a curve ball with your shoulder. Do you know what I mean? This kind of movement of your shoulder. So your elbow moves away and to the right and up and then down again. So this makes it a lot easier than just up, right? Now take a short break. What a discovery. It's not just up, there's so many directions involved. Of course, it's a difficult body. Lots of bones, muscles, ligaments, tendons, a nervous system, a vagus nerve, a polyvagal theory built in the body, so many things. We just want to use it, just like have the basic directions of how to go by, how can we manage our day, without being burdened too much by all these things. But when we start to look at it, it's actually quite interesting. So change over your hands. Bring your right hand on top of your left hand and keep looking to the left. So is your right ear resting on the back of your right hand. And in this position, start to lift your right elbow a little bit, right elbow up a little bit and down a little bit. Just the elbow. See how can you, you cannot see your right elbow when you're facing to the left. That's quite strange, I know. There's something happening behind you. You're trying to lift your right elbow and the right elbow is behind you. I can see this is confusing students. I can see it in a class of 10 people, maybe 3 or 4. They are uncomfortable with moving something in their backs. They want to see what they are moving, but you cannot see it. You just feel your right elbow lifting. Right elbow lifting up and down. And now try to lift your head and your right hand and the right elbow together. And as before, it's easier if you do this curve ball movement instead of just up. You can do both. Try to just go up, feel where you lean against, where you have to use the power, or you can go up with a little bit of a curve. Or a big movement to your left, or just a little bit. And interestingly, the more you play with it, the more the straight up becomes easy as well. It's quite interesting. All right, then we take a break. Maybe on the back, roll onto your back. That's a good idea. To feel how it is like on the back. Oh, how the back feels. The shoulder blade, the area of the shoulder on the floor is quite diversified now. Many areas I can perceive. How is it for you? Can you feel the many areas you're resting on? Left shoulder blade, right shoulder blade, maybe different areas on the shoulder blades, your spine in between the shoulder blades, the head, maybe even your spine or the ribs, your lower ribs, number 11 and 12. Quite interesting. Just a short rest. Please roll back onto your front side. We'll do the same thing, but with the head to the right. So please turn your head to face to the right. And turn on the floor, so you don't have to look at the back of my head. Put your right hand on top of your left hand and your left ear on top of your right hand. So it's floor, left hand, right hand, head. And in this position, start to lift your right elbow a little bit. It's already starting to feel more easy. And lift your head a little bit. You can feel the curve in your neck maybe. And now try to lift your right hand and your right elbow and the head together. And as you discovered before, it might be easier if you don't go straight up, but make a little curve. In this case, is it a curve to the right or a curve to the left? You can try. I would suggest if the right hand slides toward your left elbow and then lifts, it becomes more easy to lift. You can go up far, you can go up a little bit, just what's easy. Stay in this range that's easily available to you. I'm always talking into the microphone as if you were in the microphone. Or I could talk into the camera as if you were in the camera. Where are you? Try this a couple of times. And then switch over your hands. So your left hand is on top of your right hand. And you're still facing to the right. Just switch over your hands. And now lift your left elbow a little bit. So you can't see your left elbow because your left elbow is at the back of your head, of course. But just try to lift your left elbow a little bit. And once you have a feeling for that, start to lift your left elbow and your left hand and your head together. And find out which direction is easiest. Into which direction do you have to lift your head? Maybe it's just a tiny little bit you can lift, but maybe it's a large movement you can do. Stay within the range that's available and don't push against end range. If you push against the end range, you will make things worse. If you stay within the range that's easily available, you will make things better. It's like when you meet up with a friend and you talk about things you know, you deepen your friendship, you have this mutual understanding, you have a good conversation, you can broaden your perspective. There's all these good things happening about meeting up with another person you like, you have a good conversation with. But if you push against end range, if you push your conversation partner, it's not comfortable for neither of you. And the same is for body movements. You stay within, for this kind of movement, for this kind of somatic education. And maybe if you go up straight, it starts to be easy again. Switch over your hands again and try to lift the head with your right hand and your right elbow. Maybe switch over your head to look to the left and try those two movements again. All right, and then take another break. You can stay on your front side or roll over onto your back, just as you wish. And then come onto your belly again, onto your front side. Now, please place your hands on top of each other and put your forehead on your hands. So this is the general direction of this position. But it's an easy to say instruction, and I can see some people seem to have no problem in getting into this position, but actually I find it a very difficult position, especially if I'm supposed to let go of my neck muscles. You're supposed to rest. How can you put your forehead on the floor? So I use a cushion, or you can snug your forehead into your elbow crest. However you can do it so that you're facing the floor and your neck is relaxed. And your hands are somehow close to your head. So that's the required position for the next movement. So did you find it? So you can listen to my voice again. You don't need to look at the video. You don't have to. Just feel how you're lying on the floor, facing the floor. You can close your eyes or you can have your eyes open as you wish. But start to look downwards, as if you want to look towards your feet. So you're directing your eyes downwards and see what that does to you. How does that feel? You can move your head a little bit. You can let your head participate in this movement. You look downwards and you move the head a little bit. And you move your head a little bit downwards and then come back to the starting position. And now try the other direction. Look upwards, so you point your eyes towards your hairline, and you look upward, and then let go of your eyes again. So you just look a little bit upwards, and then let go again. And then start to also move your head. When you look upwards, you bring your gaze upwards, lift your head. So you look upwards and you lift your head, and in this way, you bring your eyes onto the horizon, and then lower your gaze again, look downwards, and lower your head to rest the head again on the cushion or on your hands. So we have two directions. You look downwards, you lengthen your neck, or you look upwards, and then you start to lift your head and bring your eyes onto the horizon. And please don't help with your hands. Don't push yourself up with your arms. This is not a push-up. It's just a lifting of the head. You use your spine muscles, which is quite unusual, is it, for gymnastics. So you lift your head and you look at the horizon, and then you bring your eyes to look down again, and you place your forehead on the floor again. Try to have a smooth movement with your eyes, a smooth upward movement with your gaze, and a smooth downward movement with your gaze. Until you rest your head again on your hands or on your pillow or however you decided. You can rest your head and then look downwards again. So you lengthen your neck. You have to round a little bit to be able to look downwards, and then you come back to center position and you lift your eyes, you look upwards, you start to lift your head. And see how far can you go comfortably. Don't push it with your hands, don't push with your arms. And then slowly come down again. In Feldenkrais, we sometimes use the picture of a little ant or a little animal, a little beetle, which is running away from you and then is running up the wall. And you can imagine an ant can't run very fast in our terms. So you have to look very slowly to follow the little ant with your eyes. You look up, it's walking up, and then it walks down again and you follow it. So you don't jump with your eyes, but you follow how this little animal is walking. It's a very friendly cartoon animal, is very tidy, and it comes closer to you, is your friend, and then you can rest your head again. Let's try one more time. Look downwards and move the head. Downwards, and then start to look upwards and see this little animal is walking and walking, and have a steady gaze. Try to follow this little animal with your eyes. Up, 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 up. Oh, it changed its mind, and then it's walking down again, and you're following it. Follow, 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 until you can rest your head again. And take a short rest. However you want to put your head. Take a short rest. Now, we will differentiate this movement. We will separate the eye movements from the head movements. So come into this peculiar starting position again, where you rest your forehead on your hands. And this time, start to look downwards, but lift your head upwards. Yeah, it's very strange. So you look downwards, but we did this in another lesson before. We were lying on our back. Now we're lying on our front. So you look downwards, and you're looking downwards, but you lift your head. And then you look up, and you lower your head and bring it down to rest. Opposite directions. You look downwards, and you lift your head. So you really have to feel this head movement. You really have to feel what you're doing. You have to direct your head with your feelings. Not with habit, not with your eyes, but with feelings. And then you look up, you look towards your hairline, and you bring your head down again. Bring down the head, bring down the head, bring down the head, until the head rests again. Might be a little bit difficult. Might be easy. For some people it's very easy. For some people it's almost impossible. They have to try a couple of times until they are able to do it. You can take a rest or practice a little bit. For some people, when you offer them to take a rest, they really take a rest. I'm not sure. Am I this kind of person? Now, let's take a rest for real. Just a couple of seconds. Couple of seconds over. So please come back in the starting position and start to move your eyes together with your head again. So the head is resting. Oh, that works now. And then look up, and when you look up, you follow this little animal, you look up and you lift your head. Wow, wow, it's much further. I'm going off screen. Wow, so easy. And then you come back down again. Come back down. And let's incorporate breath. Incorporate. What a nice word, isn't it? To put back into the body. Cooperate. I think corpore is the body, is Latin, I suppose. Breathe in and lift your head while you breathe in. While you breathe in, you fill your lungs, you fill your belly, you push against the belly, which is the point where you are on the floor. You push against the belly, you breathe in and you lift your head, and you breathe out and you lower your head. So breathe in, fill your lungs and lift the head, look up. Wow, it's even further. And then bring down the head while breathing out. And maybe when you have been following this series, you already have a couple of ideas what you can do. Like you can look to the left and lift the head, or look to the right, and different kind of combinations. But we will stop here with the eyes and breath. And please come back onto your backside and take a rest. Yeah. Interesting. That feels interesting. How is your breathing now? How do you perceive your chest? Can you feel your ribs in your chest? The different ribs. I think I can feel my separate ribs. Quite interesting. Let's do breathing is more easy. Do you experience that too? Wow. All right, so please come onto your front side again, one last time. We will wrap this up. With your head turned to the left, your left hand on top of your right hand. Hook your left foot over your right foot, so your left knee is flexed a little bit. And start to lift your head together with your elbow, left elbow and left arm. Just lift and see, is this easier? Yes, a lot easier. Then put your right hand on top of your left hand and lift your right elbow, and then lift your right arm together with your head. And see how that feels like. Then turn your head over to the right and try the same thing on the right. It's quite more easy, isn't it? And it's easy because we didn't do a workout, we didn't improve the muscle strength, we didn't stretch, we just worked on the organization, we worked on resolving trauma, taking stress out of the muscles, showing the whole chest how to function again. I hope you can feel this improvement. I will do one more lesson of this where we combine the leg movement and the arm movements. The leg movements we did in the last lesson. Today we did arm movements and head movements, and we'll put everything together with a nice little twist and a couple of variations. We'll continue with this lesson next time, but I hope you could have a feeling now how this. Let's come up. Let's come up. Please come up to stand. Please come up to sit and then to stand. Yes, and just feel, how is it in standing? Have you been gentle? Have you been nice to yourself? I hope you didn't overwork. And just see how you can look up and how this backwards lifting of the head movement translates into a standing position, and how you can look up and take a breath and just feel how you can breathe. And how you can move your head, how you can position your head forwards and backwards, how you can bring your head backwards. I hope you can feel this freedom. So just a couple of movements and we can have this kind of reaction. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for participating. If you like this video, please like the video, leave a comment, share your experience, ask your questions, and see you in the next video.